Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Carlos. Today we're going to be getting into a brutal back session. Very, very productive session. But before we do, please hit that subscribe button and post notifications. Leave a comment. So, the last few days or weeks have been really stepping on the gas as far as the bulk goes, eating as many clean calories and just upping the food quite a bit. And this has had the byproduct or the consequence of getting me very sluggish. And there's times when I get into the gym, and of course we're doing this PR progressive weight type of deal where you go in and you lift more than the session before. And I am fairly strong, so there's some days where I get to the gym and it's all I can do to get on the cardio machine and do the 10 minutes, and I get lazy. I'm just as human as the next guy, and sometimes I just don't want to work so hard. But the thing is, we're doing progressive resistance. We're doing a step-by-step, session-by-session, week-by-week, month-by-month, total commitment to this bodybuilding walk. You know, I'm not a professional. That's not what I strive to be. I have incorporated this lifestyle into my life, not to get on a bodybuilding stage and compete, but to have that lifestyle in me and do the best I can with it. It's more than a hobby, it's a lifestyle. So, I can't just blow off a session and say, well, next time. That feeds on your laziness, and it breeds bad habit, and then habits become character traits, and you become a procrastinator with one of the most important things that you have determined to do in life, which is to get good at building muscle, getting big, getting really strong, and whatnot. So, what do? You go into the gym and you feel lazy. For God's sake, you feel lazy. You don't want to go to the gym feeling like that, but when you're bulking, you guys that have, done this know how you can get, how it feels sometimes to just feel sluggish. You can't get your ass off the ground. Did 10 minutes of cardio to warm up, and I'm just distracted. I'd rather sit down in the cafeteria and shoot the breeze and just talk bullshit. And what am I going to do to get this session going? So, start off with some easy exercises. Start off with, some abdominals and just, trying to get through it. And as soon as you hit that first adrenaline spike, your first real effort at something, it can click. It can get happening. But it didn't even happen there. So I had a few PRs programmed before the session with the military press and the backrows. And I just couldn't imagine me doing anything heavy that day. But I went and parked myself underneath in the seated military press. I just put the bar with no weight. I said, well, let's just go through the motions. Just go through the motions. So bringing down the bar. It's okay, we're not going to do this thing here. We're going to do the proper range of not, just 90 degrees. Keep the elbow here 90 degrees and make it easy for myself. And so with the bar, and then I put on a 20-pounder on each side, and then a 30, and then a 40, and I'm building it up to 155, which is my working range to hit the 12 reps, which I've never done before. I've been doing like 8, 9, 10, 11. My last session was 11. So I got to the 155, and I did one rep. Not 11, not 12, I did one. And it was hard. It was like, shit, where did all my strength go? Like, I can't do this. What happened? It was very concerning to me. I said, but this is like the third time this has happened where I actually hit PRs, and my first attempt is like, so heavy. So I went and regrouped, and I'm thinking to myself, man, you're just going to have to go for it. I don't know what it is that I said to myself, but I got under the bar. I gave it like 4 or 5 minutes. I got under the bar, and the first rep was very partial range, and I start bringing it down more, and then I'm doing this. And it felt heavy, and as I progressed in the reps, it was feeling light. It was like so psychological, man. man. It's like something has to click in the body. It's a chemical reaction. It's your brain and the adrenaline and the interactions with the synapses, and something has to click. It's not the muscles. You don't grow weak just from one day to the next. Your mind, it's like your attitude, everything. So, make a long story short, I hit 12 reps, and I'm going, oh my God, I hit a PR, where otherwise I was, I was failing. It was like I was just going through the motions and having a terrible workout, and then that PR just brought me up. It's like, shit, this is great. Now what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to leave it alone. One set, did 12 reps, great. Hit a new high, do another set. No, I'm going to move on. There's more things to do. So I went and did some pull downs, some lat pull downs. And these lat pull downs, doing these also, keeping the arm at 90 degrees. Don't go all the way up because this is now a shoulder move. Keep it here and do the lats. Just, working it here. So I did 4 sets of those. And by golly, I got a great pump. It's easier, obviously, than many other moves. It's just, it's a cable pull down. Sure, you can make anything excruciatingly difficult. But I was using these sets as a transition. And by then I was awake. And I said, man, I'm really getting into this. The laziness is gone. I don't feel sluggish anymore. I'm ready to roll. So what's next? Barbell back rows. Gee, I wasn't planning on doing those today. Just do them. Slapped on one plate. Nice form. Did a whole bunch of reps there. And it felt good. And I said, just go for it, man. Just, what the fuck? Go for it. Put on some weight. Put on 2 plates. And did 3 reps because I said, I'm going to put on 3 plates. I'm just going to go and do a 3-plate back row. I've been doing these. Haven't been able to do more than 3 reps. It is heavy. 300 pounds on the back row. And so I put on the 3 plates and I bring it out. And I pull up and I do 4 reps and I'm going, man, this is great. This is feeling so awesome. Feel a lot of power there. Feel a lot of strength. I was going to do penalties where you let it go all the way to the ground to a dead stop and then yank it up, kind of like a clean and jerk would be, but you just bring it up to your chest, from the floor to your chest. That's a penalty row. But no, it was like, just a constant tension thing here where you let it just below your knees and then, of course, you get body English. I get some comments like, oh, terrible form. Terrible form. If you ever tried to do 300-pound back rows, my back is rigid straight. Now, there's some body English because you do have other muscles involved. And then I hear some comment like, well, bring down the weight so you can do it correctly. And it's like, how do people be so, I don't want to get derogatory, but that's really asinine. It's really backwards. The intent here is to develop strength. And those people who say bring down the weight and do proper form couldn't do half the weight that I've been doing. They couldn't. So if you're stuck with proper form, and that is impeding your strength and your power, there's something missing there. Anyways, felt really good. Got an incredible back dom the next day. Like my lats are feeling thicker. Why? Because I can grab 300 pounds and row them. Now, to be nasty, visualizing your throat is here, your balls are here, and I'm slamming you against the ground. I'm just kidding. It's like, I needed to insert that in there. But, aggression is a very big part of developing power. Aggression is very necessary, and it's probably what was missing at the outset of the training session. Once I got to the 12 reps on the military press, the aggression kicked in, and it was feeling awesome. Nothing like feeling aggressive. It's a good thing. Males, macho, need to be aggressive, not to be overly assertive in society. You want to be polite, you want to be a gentleman, but this aggression is a part of athleticism. Without aggression, you ain't making gains, and aggression gives you a leg up in just about any endeavor that requires contact, that requires competition, that requires giving your all. Aggression is a very necessary component. Anybody who argues against aggression is probably arguing against a criminalistic type of hostility that goes against human beings, but aggression is a very powerful, useful tool for you to progress. And I certainly incorporated that into my back row. it's in fact the aggression made that lift feel pretty damn easy. More aggression, easier the weight. That's all I can say. From there, we did some, what was it? The rear delt flies. So coming off of 300 pounds, 50, 60-pound dumbbells feel like nothing. So I chose the 50s and, did 10, 11 reps there. One set, felt great. Brought the weight down to 20 pounds and repped out. Try to really focus and contract and crunch this band of muscle, the rear delt there, and just make that thing burn. 50 pounds felt great. I've done these, or I do them constantly with 70 pounders. So it's like, I love the comments from people that say, bring down the weight and do proper form. And of course, this is proper form when doing heavy weight. I heard one comment, you have to concentrate on the eccentric. And I say, you guys, some people really just don't know what they're saying. Because you don't do eccentric-based effort on a power move. It is absolutely dangerous to do so, especially the back row. You don't do eccentrics on deadlifts. You don't do eccentrics on back rows. These are concentric power moves. Of course, everybody's entitled to their own ignorance, but hey, lack of experience. You do eccentric moves on a heavy back row, and you will be injured. You will hurt yourself. You go way below 90 degrees on your military press with strict form, and you will hurt your shoulder. You will have impingement, and you won't be able to do them again. Go ahead. I know better. I've been in this game for a while, not injured, and getting stronger at 58, so I must be doing something right. Yeah, keeping myself injury-free. And it's a few times that I've actually been stupid enough to listen to these type of advices from, I guess they're well-intentioned or well-meaning people. I don't know. I don't know about people's intentions, but it's bad advice, and I've learned what works for me. And this is why I always tell everybody, and I tell you guys and girls, find out what works for you. Once you find what works for you, run with it, like I'm doing now. Feeling great. I'm gaining weight, gaining muscle, just feeling stronger every day. Feeling stronger, really am. Even, the sluggishness, like I said, it's the diet. As soon as I pull back a little bit from the food, I start jazzing up more, sleep less. A little, I move faster, but there's so much food, it's obvious you're just going to be kind of whacked out. So I finished the session with triceps, and I'm reincorporating the one arm. The one arm is an incredible move, and like a lot of these isolation moves, most people, most gym rats, most gym bros will not go beyond a certain weight range for God knows what reason. But I was reviewing training, some of these like top Olympians from the past and from the present, and you'd be surprised to see some of these guys doing rear delts with 85-pound dumbbells. Sloppy form, if you would call it, but of course, if they're a Rich Gaspari or Lee Haney, you wouldn't call it sloppy. You'd say they're having success with it, but it's not. They're not doing this. They're, Ronnie Coleman doing with hundreds. But he's Ronnie Coleman, so he can get away with sloppy. If you're going to do that, you'll be critiqued by the crab men, by the people that want to bring you down. Go for it. I see somebody doing shit like that, and I say, man, do more. Try to up the weight. You're doing 80s? Can you try some 90-pounders? I try to give people incentive to grow. I try to stimulate them to get better. The last piece of advice I would ever give somebody who knows what they're doing and on a quest to lift heavy is to lower the weight. It's like the worst advice. It's the advice that it's a retarding influence. It's something that you hear in the gym with newbies. Like I saw a guy, a really skinny guy. He was doing 80 pounds on the bench press, and he did a few reps, and he went and put a 135 and bombed on it. Yeah, you should definitely learn to do proper progressions from week to week and increase slowly. You don't just double your weight and bomb. Definitely lower the weight. But if you are progressing on a scheme and you look like you know what you're doing, why would I tell you to lower the weight? It's like an enemy would tell you to do that. Don't succeed. Don't, because you might get strong. And believe me, back rowing 300 pounds for 3, 4, 5 reps is getting strong. Like, it just has a carryover of confidence to everything else. How much does this sofa weigh? It doesn't weigh 300 pounds. Most people don't weigh 300 pounds. Like, a lot of things don't weigh 300 pounds, and I can grab 300 pounds and fucking, play basketball with that shit, So it does have a good carryover as far as building a power persona, and that's what I use it for. It definitely brings out more, oomph in my everything. So looking forward to building that up. God knows, one of these days I want to do with, four plates. Ching, ching, ching. Another thing I've heard, you're going to hurt your back. You jackass, I'm 58 years old doing these things and I have not hurt myself. If I didn't know what the hell I was doing, I would have hurt myself by now. Doesn't that make sense? I mean, come on, people. When you say you're going to hurt your back, say, I'm going to hurt my back if I did what you're trying to do or what you're doing. Everybody's projecting their, I get shoulder pain when I see him doing this. Well, yeah, you get shoulder pain because you've hurt yourself. The man over there doing the thing, he's doing it. Not in pain, he's not hurting himself. Your false concern for somebody else is a projection of your fears. So when you say to somebody who obviously has been training for a while, doing a heavy-ass lift, he's going to hurt himself, what you're actually saying is, I fear I cannot fathom doing that weight, and I would hurt myself. Just think of the reality of the psychology that's going on there. So, no, I'm not going to hurt myself. My back is freaking strong. I've been training for a while so that doesn't happen. And my lower back is actually very, very well positioned to do those back rows. So, anyways, enough with the rant. What else did we get into? The triceps, the one arm. It's an incredible move. Gives a great stretch at the bottom and build up with significant weight. I was watching a guy on YouTube the other day do 100-pound dumbbells. 100-pound dumbbells, which a lot of guys use for back rows with sloppy form. This guy's doing with 100-pound dumbbells. Does like 6, 7 reps. Don't see anybody asking him to lower the weight, and I'm sure many times it took him years to get. It took him 60s, 65s, 70s, up to 80s, then 85s, 90s. Then one day he grabbed a 95. Now he's doing 100 pounds. Good Lord, one of these days he's going to do 120-pound dumbbell rows. Why would somebody tell a person like that to lower the weight? And why would they lower the weight if that's what is needed to build considerable muscle and size? So the point being that why would a person or a professional bodybuilder strive to lift heavier weight if it wasn't necessary for building bigger muscle? Because you hear this all the time, and it's like now it has been infused in the bodybuilding gym bro world. You don't need heavy weights to build muscle. It's like the biggest lie in the world. You don't need a lot of food to gain a lot of weight. Bullshit. The heavier the weight that you can manage, the greater the muscle development is going to be, okay? That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. You're not going to build, you're not going to gain, a significant amount of weight if you don't eat more food, and you're not going to gain a significant muscle mass unless you're lifting heavier than last time. That's just the way it is. Now, you can build muscle with lighter weights. You can build a nice, decent physique even without weights, doing calisthenics and body weight exercises. But that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to max out. And you don't max out by lifting light weights. So, just a reality check, guys. Reality check. Do you really think you're going to build a Mr. Olympia upper body with, pumping a plate and a half on the bench press? Of course not. Or else Mr. Olympians would pump a plate and a half. But they don't. They're going for 4 or 5 plates. 6. Some of these guys are 6-plate bench pressers. 7, 8 plate squatters, 8, 9 plate deadlifters. Why would they do that if it wasn't necessary? And I've heard the completely retarded, asinine argument that they can do that because they're big. Oh my God, yeah, they got big and all of a sudden they're lifting these humongous weights. It's all backwards. It's all backwards. People love to they like to believe lies. It's not true. You got to get stronger than last time if you want to build a significant amount of muscle. And that's just the way it is. So, that was it for this training session. Started off sluggish, under less committed circumstances. I would have just done my cardio and gone home, and one less opportunity for growth, one less link in the chain of progress would have been missed, and of course, a habit of sloth would have been started to have been ingrained. It's so easy to give up. It's so easy just to take the easy road, to not do these things. It's much easier just to not do them. But today was a victorious day. It actually started out as a shitty workout. It was one of the best workouts of my life. And so I just want to leave you guys with that message. Don't give up if you get to the gym. If you guys are keeping a logbook and are training for PRs, you know what I'm talking about. Not every day has that type of incredible over-the-top adrenaline and energy. You have to create it every single time for new. It's new every single time. And just don't let it go. Go warm up more than necessary or more than you're used to, and find a way by hook or by crook to get something done. And then once that adrenaline kicks in, you'll probably find that you have all the energy and all the strength and all the power that you need to overcome those previous numbers. God bless everybody, and we'll see you the next time.